Well, joining us now for more on the developments on Parliament Hill, we're joined live by CTV's political analyst, Scott Reid. Always great to chat. So much to unpack on today. But first, I want to get your initial impression of the Prime Minister's first press conference.
Yeah, first of all, jam-packed with news, like a ton of announcements. Going to Washington, King's coming here. This is my attitude with respect to parliamentary coalitions and dealing with the NDP. No. Pierre Poilievre, I'll call it by-election. I mean, it was a blizzard of news, and yet it was delivered, as we've seen since he took over as Prime Minister, delivered in this kind of matter-of-fact, unceremonious, unadorned, straightforward fashion. A couple of reporters I talked to said, you know what, thank God. Like, at least, I'm sure we'll find lots to criticize, but at least straightforward answers to straightforward questions. None of the theatricality, none of the hyperbolic language that we've been accustomed to. So I thought it was a pretty strong outing, and it really had a full-fledged get down to work. We've got a job to do, and it's a big one vibe to it.
And let's obviously focus on what's happening next week, his first face-to-face meeting with the U.S. president, which was announced today, and also today announcing the news from GM. You have to assume that the talks of the tariffs on our auto sector are going to be front and center, along with the other tariffs.
As if we needed any push. The announcement from GM certainly underscores the importance of next week's meeting and the need to normalize relationships, get into some kind of structured conversation, get ourselves away from this sort of constant improvisation out of the Oval Office that, puts jobs and our economic growth and people's livelihoods at risk. So I'll be looking to see what's the tone of the meeting between the two. How structured is it? How much has been negotiated in advance? Do they get there, shake hands, and then outline a plan for conversations with a timeline, expectations? I think that's what we're going to be looking for. It isn't just about the two of them meeting eye to eye. There's too much at stake these days. It's about them meeting so that we can have some assurance that a plan to protect our economy, to deal with this trade disruption, and to normalize situations so that people can go back to living their lives and working their jobs can be put in place.
Speaking of timelines, how long do you think it will take for the Prime Minister to give the thumbs up and trigger a by-election so Pierre Poilievre can essentially run in that by-election?
This is an example of what I meant by unadorned language and straight, direct answers. He was asked this question today in the news conference, and what he said was, no games. As soon as he's ready and he's picked a riding, it'll happen. So, no gamesmanship, no parliamentary silliness, no partisan pettiness, just look, here's the answer. He's now said, literally, about an hour and a half later, I think it was, maybe, Mr. Poilievre indicated he wants to run in Crowfoot. I think that by-election is going to be called Monday, maybe sooner. I don't know. But I don't think, based on the Prime Minister's words, there's going to be any futzing around.
You talked about, off the top, just the amount that's on the Prime Minister's plate right now is profound. And one of the things he has to do is pick a cabinet. I'm wondering if you're hearing anything on the Hill and some names being thrown out there and positions that could match those names.
Look, there's some high-profile recruits that he brought in. And, there's Carlos Leito out of Quebec City, who was on the board of the Bank of Canada, former finance minister in Quebec. A lot of people are looking and saying, is that a person that could take over the finance portfolio or at least play a big cabinet role? We've got some stars in the city of Toronto. Tim Hodgson, a former banker that was personally recruited by Mr. Carney. We got our pal Evan Solomon, used to work here at CTV, Bell Media. He's now occupying a downtown riding. So there's going to be lots of choice for him. But he is indicated that while the cabinet that he picks in a couple of weeks to come might be slightly larger than the one he put together before the election, it won't be much larger. So that's going to make it tough. Getting through that door is going to be hard for would-be cabinet ministers. It sounds like he's only going to pick 28, 29, 30 of them. And so the internal hopes and wishes and competition will be fierce.
Well, get some rest this weekend because I'm sure we're going to be talking to you next week. It's going to be a busy one. As CTV political analyst Scott Reid, have a great weekend, my friend.
Thanks. Same to you. Have a great weekend, pal.